Welcome back to the Wisdom English podcast. Have you ever noticed something strange about the way native English speakers pronounce certain words? You look at a word like chocolate, and you see 3 distinct syllables, cho-co-late. But when you hear an American say it, it sounds like choc-late, 2 syllables. Or you see the word vegetable, vegetable, 4 syllables. But you hear vegetable, 3 syllables. Why does this happen? It happens because English is a stress-timed language. We love to squeeze and shorten words to make them flow faster. Often, this means we completely drop a vowel sound in the middle of a word. If you pronounce every single vowel you see, you might sound a little bit robotic or overly formal. But if you learn which vowels to drop, you will instantly sound more natural, more fluent, and much more like a native speaker. Today, we are going to master 21 of these common words. We will look at the spelling, we will identify the silent vowel, and we will practice the natural American pronunciation together. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I'll share a simple rule that will help you guess which vowel to drop in new words you encounter. Are you ready to transform your pronunciation? Let's begin. Category 1. Food and daily life. Let's start with some delicious words that you probably use all the time. Word has shown. Chocolate. Let's look at this word again. It is spelled chocolate. 3 vowels. O-O-A. Incorrect pronunciation. Many learners say cho-co-late, 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Native speakers drop the second O. It becomes just 2 syllables. Choc-late. Let's practice. First syllable, choc, like chalk. Second syllable, late but very short, almost like lit. Together, chocolate. Chocolate. Listen to the stress. The stress is on the first syllable. Choc-late. Example. I bought a box of chocolate for my mom. Example. Do you prefer dark chocolate or milk chocolate? Word #2. Vegetable. This is perhaps the most common mistake. It looks like vegetable, 4 syllables. Incorrect pronunciation. Vegetable. Natural pronunciation. We drop the second E. It becomes 3 syllables. Vegetable. Let's break it down. First sound, veg like edge. Second sound, ta, a very short schwa sound. Third sound, blah, like bull. Together, vegetable. Vegetable. The stress is strong on the first syllable. Vegetable. Example. You should eat more vegetables. Example. I'm making a vegetable soup for dinner. Word #3. Restaurant. This is a word you use when you travel or go out. It looks like restaurant, 3 syllables. Incorrect pronunciation. Restaurant. Natural pronunciation. We often drop the middle ow sound. It becomes 2 syllables. Restaurant. Let's try it. First sound, res. Second sound, trant. Together. Restaurant. Restaurant. Sometimes you might hear a very, very tiny middle sound, like res to rant, but it is so fast it almost disappears. Sticking to 2 syllables is the safest way to sound natural. Example. That's my favorite Italian restaurant. Example. We're going to a nice restaurant tonight. Category 2. Work and business. Now, let's look at some words you will hear in a professional setting. Word #4, business. This word is tricky because of the spelling. It looks like business, 3 syllables. The U sounds like an I, and the S sounds like a Z. Incorrect pronunciation, business. Natural pronunciation, we drop the I in the middle. It becomes 2 syllables, business. Let's practice. First sound, biz, like the word is. Second sound, ness, together, business. Business. Example, he runs a small family business. Example, we are here on business. Word #5, camera. If you work in media or just love taking photos, you need this word. It looks like camera, 3 syllables. Incorrect pronunciation, camera. Natural pronunciation, we drop the E. It becomes 2 syllables, camera. Let's try it. First sound, cam like ham. Second sound, ra. Together, camera. Camera. Example, can you turn on your camera for the Zoom meeting? Example, this phone has an amazing camera. Word #6, interest. Interesting. This is a big one. Interest looks like interest, 3 syllables. Interesting looks like interesting, 4 syllables. Natural pronunciation, interest. Drop the first E. Interest, 2 syllables. Natural pronunciation, interesting. Drop the first E. Interesting, 3 syllables. Let's practice interesting because it's very common. First sound, in. Second sound, trest like trust, but with an A. Third sound, ing. Together, interesting. Interesting. Be careful not to say interesting. That sounds very slow. Example, that's a very interesting idea. Example, I have no interest in politics. Word #7, secretary. This job title looks like secretary, 4 syllables. Natural pronunciation, we often drop the A. It becomes secretary, 3 syllables. Note, in British English it might sound even shorter, like secretary. In American English we keep the re sound a bit more distinct, but we still squeeze it. Secretary. Let's practice the American version, but fast. Secretary. Secretary. Example, please speak to my secretary to schedule an appointment. Category 3, describing things. Adjectives. Adjectives often have these hidden silent vowels. Mastering these will make your descriptions sound much smoother. Word #height, comfortable. This is famous for being difficult. It looks like confortable, 4 syllables. Incorrect pronunciation, .confortable. Please don't say this. Natural pronunciation, we move the sound and drop a syllable. It becomes comfortably or sometimes comfortably, 3 syllables. Let's try the most common American version. First sound, comf, rhymes with humph. Second sound, tur, like turn. Third sound, blah, together, comfortable. Comfortable. Notice the stress is on the first syllable. comf, turblay. Example. Example. Are you comfortable with this decision? Word #9, different. It looks like different, 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Drop the first E. It becomes different, 2 syllables. Let's practice. First sound, diff. Second sound, front. Together, different. Different. Example. I want to try something different today. Example. They have a totally different approach. Word # 0. Several. It looks like several, 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Drop the middle E. It becomes several, 2 syllables. Let's practice. First sound, sev. Second sound, ral. Together, several. Several. Example. I have several books on that topic. Example. It took several hours to finish. Word #1. General. It looks like general, 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Drop the middle E. Let's practice. First sound, general. Second sound, ral. Together, general. General. Example. In general, I agree with you. Example. He is the general manager. Word #2. Favorite. It looks like favorite, 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Drop the middle O. It becomes favorite, 2 syllables. Let's practice. First sound, fav, like have. Second sound, rit. Together, favorite. Favorite. Example. What is your favorite movie? Example. Pizza is my favorite food. Word #3. Desperate. It looks like desperate, 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Drop the middle E. It becomes desperate, 2 syllables. Note, the ending ate is pronounced it or et, not ate, so it's despre. Let's practice. First sound, des. Second sound, prit. Together, desperate. Desperate. Example. He was desperate for a glass of water. Word #4. Separate. Adjective. Now be careful here. This word can be a verb, to separate, or an adjective, separate. As a verb, we pronounce the ending clearly, separate, 3 syllables. As an adjective, we drop the middle A. It becomes separate, 2 syllables, and the ending sounds like writ. Let's practice the adjective form. First sound, September. Second sound, writ. Together, separate. Separate. Example. We need 2 separate rooms. Example. Keep the receipts separate. Category 4. Science and facts. Here are some words related to information and the world around us. Word #5. Temperature. It looks like temperatur, 4 syllables. Natural pronunciation. We usually drop the second E. It becomes temperatur, 3 syllables. Or sometimes even shorter, temperature, 2 syllables. Let's practice the 3-syllable version, which is very clear and common. First sound, tem. Second sound, pra. 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 Third sound, chur. Together, temperature. Temperature. Example. The temperature dropped last night. Example. Do you have a high temperature? Word has shown 6. Average. It looks like a V rage. 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Drop the middle E. It becomes average. 2 syllables. Let's practice. First sound, of. Second sound, rage. Sounds like reach. Together, average. Average. Example. The average person sleeps 8 hours a day. Word hash on 7. Natural. It looks like natural. 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. The middle U sound is very weak. It almost becomes nachral. 2 syllables. The ent plus U makes a ch sound. Let's practice. First sound, nach. Second sound, ral. Together, natural. Natural. Example. It's natural to feel nervous. Example. I prefer natural ingredients. Word hash on 8. History. It looks like his to rye. 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Drop the O. It becomes his tree. 2 syllables. Let's practice. First sound, his. Second sound, tree. Together, history. History. Example. I love studying history. Example. That building has a long history. Category 5. People and relationships. Finally, let's look at some words about people. Word has shonanin. Family. It looks like family. 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. We often drop the middle I. It becomes family. 2 syllables. Let's practice. First sound, fam. Second sound, li. Together, family. Family. Example. I'm visiting my family this weekend. Word hash 20. Every. It looks like e-ve-re. 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Drop the middle E. It becomes every. 2 syllables. This applies to everything. Everyone, everywhere, everything. Let's practice. First sound, ev. Second sound, re. Together, every. Every. Example. I go there every day. Word hash to 1. Catholic. It looks like cath-o-lic. 3 syllables. Natural pronunciation. Drop the middle O. It becomes Catholic. 2 syllables. Let's practice. First sound, cath. Second sound, lick. Together, Catholic. Catholic. Example. He went to a Catholic school. The secret rule. So, we've learned 21 words. But is there a pattern? Yes, there is. Here is the secret. In most of these words, the vowel that gets dropped is an unstressed vowel that comes right after the stressed syllable. Look at family. Stress is on fam. The next vowel is I. It is unstressed, so we drop it. Family. Look at vegetable. Stress is on veg. The next vowel is E. It is unstressed, so we drop it. V, E, G table. This doesn't happen with every word, but it is a very common pattern in English pronunciation. When you learn a new long word, Check the stress. If there is a weak vowel right after the strong one, try dropping it. It might just make you sound more natural. Your challenge. Today, your challenge is simple. I want you to choose 3 of these words that you have been mispronouncing. Maybe comfortable, vegetable, and restaurant. Write them down. Put them on a sticky note on your mirror or computer. Every time you see them, say them out loud with the dropped vowel. Comfortable, vegetable, restaurant. Do this for 1 week, and your muscle memory will change forever. Thank you so much for joining me today. Pronunciation is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself. Keep practicing, and you will get there. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom English podcast channel to watch our next videos. See you next time.